NBA action here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Los Angeles Lakers going up against the Miami Heat. And now we send it out to American Airlines Arena. Kevin Clark and Steve are there, courtside, ready for tip-off.
Yes, I does that. What everybody trying to be now, I was that. They could never stop me. That's why I love rap. Been living the life, crazy ice. Swag, the gear, the bread, all the whips is a year ahead. I only fear the feds.
Miami, Florida, that is our setting as you look at the lovely sunset view of downtown Miami. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Lakers, Nash and Bryant in the backcourt. And holding down the middle out of Central Michigan University, the skilled and ambidextrous 7-footer, Chris Kaman. Then there's Nick Young, and it's Gasol at the 4 spot. And for the Heat, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. Then it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the 4 slot.
Well, Kobe's never been shy about shooting. You know, a lot of people would argue that he gets maybe a little too shot happy sometimes, but you want a guy who's dominant. You want a guy who's not afraid, who's going to fail and just come right back and fire away the next time.
And when you talk about Kobe's role offensively for the Lakers, it's worth mentioning last season was one of his most efficient scoring the basketball.
It really was, and you consider the turmoil that surrounded the Lakers all season. It was remarkable that Kobe was as even-keeled as he was, stayed focused, and start to finish, he delivered the type of all-star performance that he always does. Very impressive.
And the second free throw, good.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare, then the Pacers really took them deep, all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Eric Spoelstra. When talking about who they'll be most concerned with on the other side, he laughed a little and asked, "You mean other than Kobe?" He said that it's an almost futile effort to try and slow Kobe because he can score in so many different ways, saying, really, all we can try and do is prevent him from getting into a rhythm and try to force him into tough shots. Guys?
And thanks for that story, Doris. Young dishes the Kaman. The shot is off. LeBron with some nice deep. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed Clark to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James' brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
Outside for Kobe. 1:04 left in the first quarter of the game. To the paint and stolen by Nash. One-on-one here. Kaman passes to Kobe. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Kobe Bryant now at 35 years of age, and you know what impresses me is the way he's adapted his game and remained so effective, even as he's lost a little in the way of explosiveness. He can now beat you on the ground as much as he used to be able to beat you in the air.
Clark, you mentioned Kobe's changes offensively. Plays a lot more, Steve, I think, with his back to the basket.
Well, he's always had great footwork, but he's taken it to the next level. He's so elusive with those pump fakes and the spins. Even with the hand in his face, he's one of the best in the league when it comes to knocking down contested jumpers.
Kicks it out to Allen. 4 on the shot clock. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Allen's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Kobe kicks to Johnson. Back to Kobe. In low to Hill. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
That misses, so he splits the free throws. Here's Battier. LeBron outside. Out to Battier. The feed now to Cole. And he drops it in from the low post. Cole's got his first bucket of the night. And so the first quarter is in the books. Heat out front, up by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up.
You know, last season, a lot of folks had the Lakers picked as the super team in the West, the team that would maybe challenge Miami and LeBron, but from the start, it just never was a cohesive group and really had one of the most disappointing seasons in the Lakers' history.
From deep, LeBron tries to keep it alive. The rebound by Blake.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I thought so too, Clark.
Here's Cole. With the lead pass. Oh, and the jam by LeBron. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Heat.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Chris Bosh has checked in for Miami. Clark, as you said, the Lakers had a lot of lofty expectations put on them, but you never know what's going to happen when a team is put together. And, Steve, they just couldn't reach that bar that was set so high for them.
Yeah, the expectations were so high, Kevin, but injury issues cost them all season long. Nash, Howard, Powell, and, of course, Kobe with the Achilles at the end of the year. And that unit only started 7 games all season together, so they never really were able to develop any chemistry.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, gentlemen. Well, part of the Lakers' struggles last year was that they were constructed like an all-star team. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, quote, "Have you ever watched an all-star game? It's god-awful because everybody gets the ball, they go one-on-one, and then they play no defense. That's our team. That's us." Having a pecking order with all their big players was something he wanted to instill on their Lakers roster. We'll see if they can do a better job of adhering to that this time around, guys.
Well, that's the rub, isn't it? That's the balancing act, isn't it, Doris? Share the ball, but get it into the hands of your scorers. LeBron dishes the Bucks.
Well, coming off a title last year, you always wonder if the team will maybe relax a little bit. They usually won't admit to it, but Chris Bosh readily said it at times that his team had a difficult time lighting that fire again.
Chris Kamen's checked in for the Lakers. 1:16 left to play here in the half. Blake kicks to Hill. The pass to Johnson. There's the triple. It's back to Hill. Stolen by Bosh. And even 3-on-3 break. LeBron's shot is good. LeBron's got 7 points.
You know, he operates so well close to the bucket. There's nothing he likes more than seeing an opening inside.
Let me go back to what Bosh said. I think that is true for every team, Clark, that comes off a championship, but they usually don't admit it like Bosh does.
Well, you know what? Once you've won it all, there is a bit of a relief and a little malaise that may settle over you, but I've always respected Bosh's candor. He's a guy who doesn't bite his tongue, and he articulates what he feels, and I think it's impressive that they fought back to the finals once more, because that shows they eventually did recapture that fight.
Here's Blake, defended by Allen. Johnson, the pass to King. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
Some changes for the Lakers. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Battier. Wade comes in for LeBron. And it's Chalmers in for Norris Cole.
Their free throw attempts have really fallen off here in the second quarter. Not as aggressive.
Yeah, if they want to avoid going into the half with this deficit, they need to stop settling for these long jump shots and attack the rim.
Wade dishes to Haslam. Back to Wade. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
It's his first trip to the line. Oh, free throw's good from Wade. And the first half ends in a close one. Heat lead by 5. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome, everyone. Let's see if we can spice up your Tuesday night with a little halftime report. Miami up on top against the Lakers. Offensively, they're making it look ridiculously easy. Everything's falling. And on the other hand, the Lakers are still alive. Wiping the glass defensively. Look, no streaks. They're preventing any second chance opportunities. And that'll do it for us here at
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.